I want you to tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I want you to tell everybody. DC is finally back. I prayed for times like this. 10, 10, 10 years. The the damage that Zack Snyder did to the DC brand had left me scarred and deformed. But I assure you, my love for this franchise and brand has never been stronger. Oh my god. Listen to me. Listen to me. If you've been around, if you've been around, the DC brand has hit bottom. It had hit bottom. All right? We were out there struggling. We was out there fighting for our lives. Marvel had everything firing on full fucking cylinders. And all we could do was watch. Finally. No angry Superman, no emo Superman, no random darkness. Just a big blue Boy Scout, which is what I have only ever asked for. Just a nerd. And David Cornsweat, there's a faction of people out there that are Snyder bots. And I feel as though this film has won a big fraction of them over because you fucking killed it as both Clark Kent and as Superman. One of the things I can say about Henry Cavill is that he nailed the Superman side, but he didn't hit the Clark Kent side. And it's that duality that you need. You need Bruce Wayne just as much as you need Batman. You need Clark Kent just as much as you need Superman. And he was fantastic as Clark. Um we had seen previews, and for those people in here, this is definitely going to be a spoiler discussion. We're going to be getting down to the nitty gritty of some things that happen in this film. If you have not watched this film yet, just know I fucking love this film. This is a great and fantastic jumping off point for the DCU going forward. It is everything that you could want from a Superman story that understands the character of Superman. Go watch it. Now, outside of that, we gotta give a few shout outs because this cast was absolutely stellar. One of the things that I was afraid of was too many cooks in the kitchen, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, too many characters that were gonna dilute the story. I didn't get that here at all. Every single person in here brought their A game. Jumping back to David, fantastic as both Clark Kent and as Superman. That conversation that we had basically got from the trailers, and I think there was like a snippet of him talking to Lois Lane. And she's going over the political fallout implications of him basically going into a country and saving a bunch of people. That discussion between the both of them perfectly defines the character of Superman. Where he's like, I don't care where you're from, white, black, Asian, Middle Eastern. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or whatever your political affiliation is across the planet. If you cry out for help, I'm gonna be there to help you. If you're a country that's just going in and slaughtering innocent people, I'm gonna go in there and help you. If you think you're gonna use your military and kill a bunch of kids, not on my watch. I don't care about how you feel politically. I don't care about how you feel religiously. I don't think that you should use your power to harm innocent people that really aren't bothering you and are just going about their lives. I love that that is his stance. And I love that Lois is the one that kind of pulls him back a little bit and is like, yes, going in saving people, that's a good thing. However, you have to understand that there are implications to essentially what it is that you're doing in the real world. There are governments, there are politics, there's a way in which people are going to view the actions that you end up taking. Rachel Brush. Hold on. You know we gotta Google some shit. Wait a minute. Bros. Name pronunciation. Let's see what this sounds like. Brosnahan. Oh, okay. Brosnahan. It's instead of an S, it's a Z. Got you. So Rachel Brosnahan, fantastic job as Lois Lane. Um, I love her attitude. I love her spirit. I feel as though her character is the very first time in a long time since Margot Kidder that I've ever felt the energy of DCU Superman Adventures Justice League Lois Lane, which is she is super smart, she is super quick to piece things together, she's a great fucking journalist, but at the exact same time, she can talk her shit. Like she can hang with the big boys. She ain't scared. Love that. I love the fact that she was able to push him and challenge him. I like the fact that even though this film is not an origin film and it establishes that they've been in a relationship for like roughly around 3 months, that she's still not sure about the relationship. Because it's like one of those things where it's like, yes, I have this wonderful boyfriend, but he's also this guy that goes around and saves people on a daily basis and puts himself in danger. Like there's a whole side of his life that like I will never be able to relate to in any way, shape, or form. But then she finds a way to relate to it. She finds a way to help him. And I like that even though she had misgivings, being unsure about the relationship, like most people do early on in the relationship, once she realized my man's was in trouble, them feet started moving. Homegirl was out there. She was putting she was out there with the clues. She was like, okay, so Lex is doing this, and then this attaches to this, and then this is going on over here, but then this flips back and attaches to that thing right there, and then that goes over there, but I don't have a missing piece right there. Let me go talk to the smartest man in Metropolis. And here comes my number one standout for this film. Eddie Gathegi. Almost a decade ago, they did you wrong as Darwin in the X-Men films. You didn't get justice was not done for your character. You have received justice today because Mr. Terrific walked away from this film as low key my favorite person in this film outside of the main cast. The surprise guy. And we're going to get the guy in a second, but he was great. All of his scenes were fantastic. I love that not only is he the smartest person in the room, he is just so done with everything that's going on. He's done with Guy Gardner, like he's low-key done with Hawkgirl. He's 3 minutes in and he's already sick of Lois because now she's trauma dumping on him. He has to like stop the multiverse from basically collapsing in on itself and splitting in half. And the man is tired, but he showed up and showed out. I didn't know how they were going to do the T-spheres, but they went so much more comic accurate in regards to what the T-spheres can do and the way in which Mr. Terrific be moving and getting shit done, that it was a joy to watch his character on screen. Now let's get to my number two, because my number two guy is definitely Nicholas Hoult. Brother, you auditioned as Bruce Wayne, you auditioned as Superman, but you have found your calling as Lex Luthor. Because between your version of Lex Luthor and Seth Rollins, I know for a fact I am not hating to my ultimate potential. Because you came through as the most devious, hating ass version of Lex Luthor we have ever received. If Michael Rosenbaum was the tragic Lex Luthor, the one who his hatred isn't for the man, the hatred is for the fact that he could never be a part of the secret, that they kept the secret from him because they were afraid of him. And that's where the hatred came from. The hatred was born from a betrayal. He was my definitive Lex Luthor for the longest time. Nicholas Hoult has risen to the top of my definitive Lex Luthor list. because he hates Superman with a passion. To the point, let me tell you something. If if my hatred of somebody requires me to sit down and study them for 2 years straight, every single day for 8 hours, as though it's my own job, to figure out every single thing about this person, every single weakness that this individual has, and then orchestrate an entire fucking war so that I can get authorization to neutralize and take this man out. That is a level of hatred that you have never seen. My man was sitting inside his control tower calling out moves as though it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3. D3, H6, 12-9, Z11, B12, 837. He had a whole playbook against that man, Superman. Like the special playbook from the Water Boy. That man, Lex Luthor, was writing down every single thing that he had to do to get Superman the fuck up out of here. That last monologue that he has is definitive Lex Luthor, where it's like, why do you hate me, dog? I don't understand where this hostility is coming from. And he looks him dead in the eye and he says, I was the ultimate man. They may have compared me to some loser geniuses back in the past, but I was the future. I was the ultimate human. Every single thing I built was gold. I was supposed to be cherished. I was supposed to be worshipped. I was supposed to be looked up as a god. And then here you came, flying with your stupid cape and your dumbass suit. And every single person started to cheer, and all the love and acclamation that they were supposed to give me, they heaped upon you. And I made it my mission to get your bitch ass up out of here. And I was like, that's it right there. That's it right there. This man is my definitive Lex Luthor. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. And I cannot wait to see more from his character going in the future. Because if you watch the film, the Raptors, his security team is basically wearing the Gen 1 version of the Lex Luthor battle armor that he'll end up wearing down the line to fight Superman. And I like that. I like those small little nods that basically exist within the film. Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about you. Loved you as Guy Gardner. If there was somebody that completely embodied a character that I don't like in the comic books and was able to bring them to life to show why I don't like them in live action, Nathan Fillion hit the nail on the head. His Guy Gardner is fantastic. Absolutely fucking loved it. Every single time he was on screen, I was exasperated. Let's like get this. Somebody just smack the hell out this man. Where is Batman to punch this man in the mouth? Like, we need Batman to give Guy Gardner his canon event where he's just talking, he's just like wham, right to the jaw. And he's like, you just punched me as a lantern? Yes, I did. Would you like another? Also, fantastic fucking job. Am I missing someone? Oh, talking about the Kents. Um, do we have them here? Do I have their name list? I only see the name for Pruitt Taylor Vince as Jonathan Kent, but I don't have, for whatever reason, they don't have the lady who played Martha Kent listed, which kind of sort of sucks a little bit. Because I really wanna get both their names in here, but if they don't have her name up on the list, like, damn, has she never acted before? What the fuck? What the hell is going on? I don't see her name anywhere. They don't have her name. They don't have her name up here as. Maybe if I go to IMDb, IMDb will show me the actress that played Martha Kent. McCoy, Desmond Fair, Lex Luthor, Reggie Onlooker, Perry White, Monpa Kent. So Neva Howell. Has she done anything before? Fuck yeah, she has. She's been in a couple movies before Superman. Nothing really big, but she's been in a few movies before Superman. Same with the guy who plays Pa Kent. So Never How and Pruitt Taylor Vince play Ma and Pa Kent. This may be the most biblically comic book accurate version of Ma and Pa Kent. I think one of the things that usually annoyed me going back is that every time they did Ma and Pa Kent, they were hot, or if not hot, they were like super attractive. Even going all the way back to Smallville. And one of the things that I always said was they're a poor family from the Midwest. The Kents are poor. Yes, they have a farm, but it's always just surviving. They're not exceedingly rich. One of my complaints about the Smallville TV show was the fact that their farm was just huge. They had a farm where they were growing crops. They had a farm for where they harvested wheat and grain. They had like a whole grazing area for the cows, and the house was there. I was like, there's no reason why you should be poor. I'm fairly certain Verizon or some cell phone company is like, hey, we will give you $10,000 a month if you allow us to put a cell phone tower right here up on your land, and you be straight. No, they're a small farm. They've got like 3 cows and a couple chickens and a road, and that's it. And I was like, that is what a Midwest Kansas, poor Kansas family would look like. Like they look like they live in Kansas. Like they are third generation farmers from Kansas. I like that shit. I also like the conversation that he ends up having with Clark after he discovers the truth about his family, which we're going to save that for a little bit later. Or we might save that for a different video. Why I kind of low key like that decision instead of having them be like altruistic. Um, he basically gave him the Mewtwo speech. Now, if you've never heard the Mewtwo speech, I suggest you go watch Pokemon Mewtwo's Revenge. That movie is fantastic. And you can fast forward all the way until the end, where Ash sacrifices himself to essentially stop the fight. And Mewtwo, well, all the Pokemon start to cry and they revive Ash. And Mewtwo has a revelation where he's like, the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that truly matters. That is what my man hit Superman with. And I was like, that is the message he needed to hear, which is it doesn't matter what it is that your parents wanted you to do. It's a parent's job to basically give you the tools to set you up to be prepared to become an adult and then make your own decisions. You choose the type of man that you want to be. Love that. Absolutely love it. Because I'm here to tell you right now, if that motherfucker had ever came out of his mouth and was like, maybe you should have just let the kids drown, I'd have walked out of the theater. That is the quickest way you ever see me get up and be, excuse me, nope, excuse me, I'm gone, nope. I like the fact that he was like, nah, man, you got all these powers and these abilities. You can use them for good. You can use them to help people to make the world a better place. You've already been doing that. You don't have to live up to some weird um um order that your parents essentially gave you when they sent you here. You choose how you wish to live your life. I was like, that's the Pa Kent that I've been looking for, because the one in the Zack Snyder universe was telling this motherfucker to let people die and shit. God damn. Yeah, Pa Kent. That's the type of message that we need to send. And like that, that's what basically gets him to get back out there and basically stop Lex's absolute fucking madness from destroying technically not only Metropolis but the vast majority of the entire world. Is there anyone I'm missing? Oh, right. Isabella Marcet, right? Because she's the one that played Hawk. No, she's the one who played Dina. Yeah. Great. However, I have one bone to pick. That hawk scream that she does, she only has to do it, I feel as though, when she initially starts fighting. The fact that she's constantly doing it as she's fighting was a little OD. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little bit overdoing it. We can dial that back. We can rein that in. We could pull that back because it was a little bit too much of the fact that she was just constantly just like ah. I'm not doing it correctly because I can't hit that pitch, but it was just ah. I was like, all right. When you first go in, it's cool, and when you re-engage, it's cool. But constantly doing it every 2 seconds aggravated the hell out of me. Other than that, I think she was great as Hawkgirl. I love the fact that there's two females in the DC universe who, in my opinion, you should never try, or you should never think that they're not gonna kill you. Hawkgirl's one, Wonder Woman is the other one. And like the fact that my man was like, "You're a hero. You'll never kill me. You'll take me to the what you call it." And she looked down his ass and was like, "Whoop!" and just let him go. I was like, "Yeah, nah." Two females that you should never, ever, 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 ever in your life come out of your mouth and be like, you'll never kill me. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna blah blah blah." Nope, she was one of them. She got your ass up out of there, son. Now, the ending, the clone. I think we'll save that one for another video as well, because I kind of want to get into spoilery discussions about um where exactly he ended up. Because I have a feeling I know where he ended up, but I don't think he's coming back for a second Superman film. So we'll save that for a different one. But yeah, I love this movie. I thought every single thing about this movie was great. Hold on, like caveats, of course, because you just heard me complain about the Hawkgirl scream. Um, the twist with Jor-El and good God, I cannot remember the name of Jor-El's wife. What the hell was her name? It's shit. I don't remember it off the top of my head. I'm a little bit too hype right now. Oh, and the ending. That surprise reveal that Millie Alcock's Supergirl was in the film. Yes. That cussing and the way in which she was with the whole drinking and stuff. Yeah, no, that's definitely directly from the comic book that they're using, which is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, because basically she's dealing with a level of trauma. Whereas Clark was a baby when he arrived on Earth, Kara was already like 14, 16. So she had grown up in Kryptonian culture. So waking up and discovering your entire civilization essentially gone, your cousin doesn't know who you are or doesn't know anything about Kryptonian civilization, and that you're all alone. Uh, that definitely feeds into a more destructive lifestyle where you just don't care about anything. So I know that there's some people complaining about that, but that's essentially what that is from. And then the journey she goes on, saving people, meeting Lobo, things along those lines, are what turn her basically into the Supergirl that you're more familiar with comic book wise than the one that you've essentially seen introduced here on screen. I know some people were complaining about that. I don't really give a shit about that because I understood where the inspiration was coming from, and I was essentially happy to see it. And that last scene where he's sitting back and the robots are around him, and they're like, "Oh, would you like me to play the video of your parents?" It soothes him, and you think that he's gonna play the beginning part of the message again, but instead it's memories of him and the Kents from when he was like a little kid. I think that was great. That is fantastic. That is Superman right there, because one of the things I love the most is Justice League Superman. He has the statue of both his parents. But then right next to that statue is another statue of both Ma and Pa Kent. And then at some point in time, he combined both the statues into one statue where it was like the L's and then the Kents next to each other, and all of them were basically holding up the world. Love it. Absolutely love it. That's something that I'm hoping that we end up getting more of in the future. I am thirsty. Gotta drink something. But I had a blast with this, and I already know, like I said it before and I'll say it again, DCU is in good hands. I have faith that James Gunn is going to be able to knock this entire thing out of the park going forward, because he's doing it the right way. Everybody's getting their solo films. Everybody, it's going to build up to Justice League or build up to a Crisis event, and then he's going to keep on working from there to expand the universe as it goes forward. We already saw Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr. We know he's going to be popping back up in Peacemaker. John Cena's Peacemaker was in that one scene, which I thought was super fucking great. Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen, he was also fucking good. He has to explain his secrets, because there's no way Jimmy Olsen is moving like this. He is slinging something to have these women sprung the way in which they are sprung. Metamorpho's powers was fucking great. It's always great to see Anthony Carrigan get work. because he was great on Gotham. He was great on what was that HBO? He was great on Barry. He's always like super funny and one of the standouts character wise for whatever show, whatever project he is working on. I can't wait to see more. I'm probably gonna end up seeing this movie one more time before we get Fantastic Four, but here we go, baby. The DCU is finally it is finally on track to be something to write home about. But let me know what you guys think about Superman. I was gonna call it Superman Legacy, but let me know what you guys think about Superman. Comment down below, let me know, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.